Yeah. So, how long have you been doing surgeries on patients with neurofibromatosis?
So I have been in neurosurgery since 1980, and the 80s was mostly about training. I finished in 87, and probably during my training, I did some work with people that had neurofibromatosis, so more than 30 years.
Wow, it's a long time.
Yeah.
So, how did you first learn about NF, especially if it was that long ago? Because I know it wasn't really, known back then.
It wasn't that long ago.
But I mean, it was before NF became widely known.
Actually, I went to school at Baylor
Yeah.
College of Medicine, and there was a guy there by the name of John Riccardi, and I don't know if you've heard of him, but he is one of the guys that really made some of the early noise about treating neurofibromatosis, classifying it, all of that. So he was in his 40s when I met him, and he gave lectures when I was pre-clinical in medical school. So that's the first time I heard about neurofibromatosis.
Oh, that must have been interesting. So, this is a little self-indulgent, but so can you really talk about how you first met me with the final fusion when I was younger?
You don't remember?
Not tremendously well.
Okay, so I met you the morning after, and your mother told me that you had been running around your grandparents' home, showing off your new Halloween costume, and had tripped on something and fallen, and it hit your head, and just felt a little sore, so you wanted to go to bed early. And when you woke up that next morning, the day that I met you, you couldn't move your arms. And so, obviously, your mother brought you to the hospital right away. She brought you to our hospital because Dr. Levy was there.
Yeah.
And she knew Dr. Levy very well. And Dr. Levy called me, and I came by and saw what the situation was. And then, do you remember what we did?
You used my rib cage to rebuild the spinal cord, correct?
We did something before that.
Oh, the halo.
You don't remember?
When you put me in a halo.
No, before that.
I actually don't remember that one.
We hung you off the end of the bed. We screwed two things into your skull and attached it to a rope that was hanging weights off of the head of the bed to pull your head away from your body a little bit to get your spine lined up again. And we did that, and by the next morning you were moving your arms again.
Huh.
So I don't know whether what we did that, or whether you just had a bruised spinal cord that got better by itself.
Yeah.
But that's what you typically do when you're worried that the spine is loose and can move around and the spinal cord is injured because of that. You stabilize, and that's the typical way we stabilize. So that's what we did. And then we did all the things that you remember.
Yeah, so could you just talk about that in more your perspective, that surgery when I know that was the first time that had ever been done, I believe.
No, it wasn't that bad.
Oh, okay. I'll do it in the morning then.
But
Okay.
it was the first time here at Montefiore that we assembled a big team of people to, in a combined fashion, take care of a very complicated problem that you had. After we had you all stabilized, we got a MRI scan done, and that showed that your spine was kind of like a corkscrew twisting its way through your tumor in the neck, and up towards the top it had angled, and it was almost at a 90 degree, where your spinal cord had to take a 90-degree turn through an S turn. And we felt that at that point where your spinal cord was having to make such a sharp turn, that's where it got bruised. So we got together 2 neurosurgeons, myself and another neurosurgeon who was a spine expert, Dr. Hooten. We got a plastic surgeon, at that time it was Dr. Staffenberg. We got a ENT doctor, and we all went into the operating room one morning with you, and we basically got a piece of your rib to use as a bone graft, and then Dr. Hooten and I exposed the spine, and we got it into a better alignment, did a little bit of decompression so that the spinal cord was working better, and then Dr. Hooten did a fusion of your spine.
So you've obviously had a very distinguished career, and I was wondering if you could just talk about like some of the highlights of it.
Well, there's a bunch of stuff. I've really enjoyed my career. I made the right decision way back when I was in training to specialize in pediatrics because I really enjoy working with families, and right now, I really enjoy sitting down with people your age and a little older who I've worked with for a long time and seeing how well you're doing with your lives. So that's something that my colleagues who treat adults don't get to do. So it's a lot of fun.
Yeah. I can imagine it's fun seeing the same people for like an extended period of like many years.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And hearing the good stories, the good stuff that they're doing outside.
Yeah.
That hasn't anything to do with medicine.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much.